The Linguistic Instinct. How Do We Learn Language? By Steven Pinker. The Linguistic Instinct. Children possess an instinctual understanding of grammatical structures without being taught by anyone. The prominent linguist Noam Chomsky was the first to suggest that grammatical rules are innate in our brains. According to his theory of universal grammar, children, in his view, do not learn language from their parents or those around them, but rather through the employment of their innate grammatical skills. This reflects the reliance of languages, despite their differences, on similar underlying structures. Chomsky supports his theory by noting that children lack the internal motivation to learn grammatical rules at such a young age. Additionally, deaf children use proper grammatical rules in sign language without being taught, indicating that their understanding of noun and verb structures is instinctual. Psychologists conducted an experiment on a deaf child named Simon, whose parents were also deaf. The parents learned sign language later in life, resulting in various grammatical errors. However, Simon, who learned sign language solely by observing his parents without formal instruction, did not make these errors. This is attributed to Simon's instinctual knowledge of grammatical rules, which prevented him from making the same mistakes as his parents. The basics of language. Language is based on two principles that facilitate communication between individuals. Firstly, the arbitrariness of the relationship between signs and their meanings, a concept first proposed by Swiss linguist Ferdinand de Saussure. It relates to the way we connect sound and meaning. For example, the word dog in its pronunciation does not inherently indicate the animal itself, as it doesn't bark like a dog or move in the same way. In other words, the word itself does not carry an intrinsic meaning, yet it retains its acquired meaning. Secondly, the capacity of language to use limited means to create countless interpretations. Humans possess a specific set of words that they can combine and structure to form an endless number of larger combinations, such as sentences. Our understanding of these ever-renewing combinations is constantly reinforced by establishing certain rules that govern the spontaneous changes in word structures, ensuring that each one has a specific meaning within a particular context. Despite the limited number of words, grammatical rules provide us with an unlimited number of ways to combine them into meaningful sentences. Written language. The question that arises initially is, does written language precede oral language in the process of linguistic communication? Is this true or false? We have previously discussed how oral language, or spoken language, is understood. But what about written language? How do we understand the strange symbols written on a piece of paper or in a book? Our understanding of sentences begins with analyzing them, or breaking them down into their main components, and comprehending the grammatical roles of these components in order to understand their meaning. Grammar rules serve as a code that facilitates our understanding of how language works, clarifying which sounds correspond to which meanings. The mind then processes this information and searches for the subject, verb, object, and so on, and integrates them together to give meaning to the written sentence. Linguists refer to two types of language research and analysis. Surface analysis. The first type reflects a pattern of analysis that searches for individual words to determine the meaning of a sentence. During this search for individual words, the mind temporarily generates various meanings for ambiguous words. For example, the word bug could refer to an insect or a vulnerability exploited by hackers, until it arrives at the intended meaning. Deep analysis. This type of analysis examines the entire sentence, considering that some sentences contain a vast number of words that the mind cannot focus on each one individually. As a result, the mind selects the closest or most likely meaning for the sentence. These are the methods the mind employs to analyze words and grammatical rules and transform them into understandable meaning. For more information, you can check out summaries of our books on our channel. Thank you for your valuable time.